Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of the vlog series. I think we're on episode 12. I just finished editing and uploading episode 11, but it was a little bit more of a low-key episode. I hope to have more content in this one. But today I wanted to start off the video with a sort of relationship Q&A. Unfortunately, I wanted Brian to be a part of it, but our schedules just don't really align, and when we are actually able to be together, it's when the sun has already been far down. It has been a year since we've been engaged. I thought it would be kind of cool to talk a little bit about our relationship. Again, I wish Brian could be here to answer these with me, but it's just been like I've been actively trying to get us to film this video together, but it's just been really difficult, and January is almost over. So I'm going to answer some of these questions while I'm making my absolute favorite cookie recipe. I've probably linked it before, but it's like the easiest cookie recipe ever, but I'm going to be making this while answering some of your guys' questions. Some of these questions we actually answered in our last relationship Q&A, but if you haven't seen it, I will be answering them as if you haven't seen it. So a lot of people asked, how did you guys meet? A very popular question, and the way that we met is kind of weird, not really traditional. Ryan and I both grew up, well, yeah, he grew up playing video games essentially, and I grew up playing video games while also being raised by two video gamer parents. Parents played a lot of video games, they still do, and it was kind of just like a normal pastime that we had as kids. We have a game called World of Warcraft. You're probably familiar with it. I mention it briefly on this channel from time to time. This is the game that was my childhood. I spent so many hours on that game playing with my siblings. My sister and I would frequently like to kind of mess with people, and we were messing with people, and we were inviting random people onto our Discord server, and this was like 2017. Mess around with, have fun, be jokesters to our Discord server that we had at the time, and we actually still have, but we don't really use it. And we invited someone who joined our server. He thought that we were very funny, because we were, and went onto his server, told Brian, yo, you gotta join this girl's server, they're crazy, they're funny, you know, it's a fun time. And I don't even honestly remember how Brian came to be a part of his server. I'll have to ask him again later, but that's kind of how we met. And initially he had talked to my sister first and the people that we had on my server, and we had a couple people on our server that we played with a lot and we became close with. And then I joined. Well, I was always a part of the server, hadn't talked to him at that point yet, and I wasn't really quite sure about Brian at first. Of course, I didn't even know his name was Brian at the time. I wasn't really sure about him. I was always like really kind of skeptical on the people that were in the server, and I was a little bit more careful, like being friendly with people that I didn't know. I remember first night that I had talked to him, everyone had left eventually, and it was just me and Brian. And I remember my sister, I think, had told me that he went to school in New York, so he wasn't that far away. So I had said, you know, oh, my sister said you go to school in New York, and he had lied and said, no, I don't go to school in New York. And I was like, that's kind of weird, because she kind of told me, you know, but he was lying. I guess he just didn't want to tell a stranger his personal information, which makes sense. Good on him. And then we just kept talking to each other, and it eventually became an every night kind of thing. At the time, it was not good timing, because I was in a very long-term relationship, like high school sweethearts type thing, and it wasn't a great relationship. I mean, you know, I learned a lot, had a lot of great memories with him, but it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't what it should be. And I learned that pretty late in the game. It wasn't until I met Brian where I really saw and learned how I should be treated in a relationship. You know, just having a guy kind of want to be a part of my world, and he wanted to know what I was doing every day and how I was feeling, and he just really seemed interested in what I had to say. And he, at the time I had Alfie, my horse, he was very interested in Alfie, and it was just nice to have someone who wanted to listen about all of my just different interests that I had at the time. And we were very similar people. He was just very easy for me to talk to. He was very conscious that I was in a relationship. He didn't want to ruin anything. But by the time I had even started talking to Brian, that was kind of like the end of my relationship. And it was just, he kind of helped me realize that eventually, after talking for many months, we would talk late into the night, just about everything, life, friendships, and we grew very close. And actually for a long time I didn't even really know what he looked like, which is absolutely crazy, like total catfish situation. I did find out, because it's kind of easy to find that information online, so I did find out what he looked like before meeting him. And honestly, it didn't really even matter to me what he looked like, because I mean, he was just like perfect. He was my dream man, I guess you could say. He still is. So nice to me. And it had been, I guess I had never had someone be that nice to me before. Say nice things to me and really, really appreciate me the way that I should have been appreciated all those years. So that's kind of how we started. And I drove the 4 hours, because he didn't have a license or a car, to meet this guy that I had met online. I say that we met on World of Warcraft when we really just met because of World of Warcraft, but meeting on World of Warcraft sounds so much better. We wouldn't have met if it weren't for World of Warcraft, but I think the backstory is kind of essential to know, and it was a really integral part of our story. Unfortunate, you know, the way that I had to end things with my previous relationship, and we didn't really end on good terms, and we started living together fairly shortly after being official, and that was just because we were friends for so long, and long distance is really, really difficult. I was kind of at the point in my life where I really needed a change. There were some things that we had to compromise on, and there were arguments. When we first living together for the first time is like the true trial. It can be an eye-opener. Actually live with them and you're with them every single day. That can be really difficult. So if you can pass that, if you can get through that, you will probably last for a lifetime. And we got engaged last year and are to be married in 2023. Yay! Another question we have here is, do you have a theme planned for your wedding, and will your animals be involved? I do kind of have a theme going. I really like whimsical, elegant, kind of fairy tale like weddings, but nothing too corny. Farmland, barns, all that stuff is kind of my thing. But I also love antiquing and historical. Hope to be married in like a historical landmark, Victorian house type thing with a garden, that kind of thing. And then as far as the animals, we hope that Patsu can be a part of the wedding. I hope that, I'm thinking Lily, she is kind of our flower girl, even though she won't be super young by the time our wedding rolls around. But, you know, it's our wedding, our rules. So we hope to have her be the flower girl, and I would absolutely love if in her flower basket she carried Patsu down the aisle. I think that that would just be so cute. But I'm not really sure what to do with Patsu when she gets to the end of the aisle and stands next to me. I'm not going to want to stay in the basket for the entire ceremony, so I'm going to have to figure something out. If you guys have any suggestions as far as what to do with Patsu and he goes down the aisle, please let me know. He is like no other animal that I've ever had. I just connect with him on such a spiritual level that I've never experienced with any other animal before in my life, that, you know, he's my best friend. Of course, I love all of my ferrets the same. You know, I love them all the same, I say that. But he's He's my everything. Next question is, what's your favorite intentional time you spend together? This is a really good question. As far as intentional time goes, we love watching movies together. He's convinced me to watch movies that I would have otherwise not wanted to watch, and I ended up enjoying them. I wish that we would go to the barn more. I really like going to the barn with him, but he doesn't really like going that much. Well, like, he'll go, but I kind of have to beg him to because he would rather stay home. Look at these cookies, yummy. Stinky girl Reva decided to join. She is so stinky. You're so stinky. You're a stinky ferret. She's like, ooh, butter on your fingers? You got butter? Going back to the question, we do play games together. Not as frequently as we used to in the past when we were long distance, but we do play still World of Warcraft together. Appa is in another one of his silly, goofy moods. Appa loves to go under this little leather sofa or under the TV stand and just kind of play with Gen. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Oh, I scared him. You want some food? You want breakfast? Are you hungry? Oh, it's Reva. Oh, I think I scared her. I'm sorry, Reva. Did I scare you? Uh-oh. Oh, you're okay. She's so stinking adorable. Oh my gosh. You can keep eating. I'm sorry. Hey guys, it is Wednesday and we have a huge snowstorm coming tomorrow and the following day. So we did a little bit of shopping today at the Asian market, and I wanted to do a bit of an Asian market haul to show you what I got. These candies are so good. I've never gotten these before. They're like strawberry yogurt, and I decided while we were there to get ingredients to make kimchi because that's like the only place that I can actually get the real ingredients that you need for kimchi. We actually stopped at the antique mall after because I needed containers for the kimchi. You guys know I love getting antique mason jars, so I got this one for $3. This one was $5, and this one is from the 1930s. I got normal sea salt that doesn't have the added iodine in it because apparently you need this for kimchi. This is Napa cabbage, so it's a special type of cabbage that you need for kimchi. These candies, which is just pretty much lollipops. We got some good old ginger. This is a Korean radish. We have a pack of quail for the ferrets. A nice big rabbit for the ferrets. They're going to be so happy because they love getting this rabbit. I got shrimp paste, chicken gizzards for Gen. Ooh, these are kind of leaking. Duck feet for Gen as well. Basically red pepper flakes, red chili pepper flakes. guys, just a little update. It is Sunday and Brian and I went to the bridal convention today and we had a lot of fun together and it was just really nice. I wanted to talk a little bit about something, kind of open up about something that I've been struggling with for years now. There were many moments where I talked about it to you guys actually, but I ended up not including it because I felt like maybe I was oversharing. Sorry, the heat just turned on if you can hear that. My vlogs are a place to share my personal life, my journey, my experiences, and this is a very big part of it. And I talked a little bit about it in my last vlog, how I've just really crave family togetherness, and that's not something that I get even though I live right down the road from my parents, and I think a lot of people can probably relate with that. And a lot of the times it's not something that you really feel until you become older and you move out and you kind of realize that you want that togetherness and that a lot of other people do experience that togetherness, and I'm very jealous of them. And just this whole wedding planning stuff has been not very fun because of it. Really wish I had parents who were excited and who were happy for me and who cared about my wedding. I mean, they like Brian, they have no reason not to like him. My parents are extremely introverted. They much prefer being at home. Planning a wedding, you know, I want my parents to be involved. I want them to be interested. I want them to be excited and happy for us. Today at the bridal convention, there were so many moms there and they all had these stickers that said like proud mother of the bride, and that kind of made me really upset. And I'm not saying my parents need to spend time with me every single day. Just, you know, once a week, once every other week, we have some special time together, once every 2 weeks. There's a lot more I wanted to say on this topic. I didn't get very much sleep last night. I stayed up until like 7 a.m. just laying in bed thinking about this. Things were said that were hurtful to me when we were going to go look at a venue, and it kind of just stuck with me. I mean, it's just been this way for a very long time, and it's just something that I've had to learn to deal with, and I know that Brian and I will make new traditions, and I'm excited for when we have kids to be able to share that with them. I want my children to know that they can always rely on me and count on me, and they're always welcome at my table. And just some rambles. If you can relate, feel free to send me a message, because it is something that I struggle with a lot. And I'm actually looking into doing therapy for it. It's been hard to find a place that accepts my insurance. A lot of steps that I feel like I have to go through, but hopefully I can start doing that soon and I'll feel a lot better overall. But thank you guys for listening again. This was a very talky vlog. I'm probably going to end this episode because I talked a whole lot in the beginning for the relationship Q&A. But thank you guys so much for watching these vlogs. You have no idea how much it means to me to have the same people like commenting on all my videos when they come out, and really just being engaged and interested in my life. And I think in a way, it kind of makes up for what I am lacking at home, if that makes sense. Is that really weird to say? I don't know. It's just nice to have you guys who are genuinely interested in my life and knowing how I'm doing, and you want to be a part of the wedding planning process, you want to be a part of my life, and that means a lot to me. That makes me very happy. So thank you guys so much, and thank you for listening, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.